What's going on? It is the one and only, the first lady of prolific Miss What That Lariat Do, and you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk. Respectfully.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
You're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. I'm TK Trinidad, and today we have an amazing show, and of course, nothing but amazing guests. She is, let's take a moment here, the First Lady of Prolific, Pro Wrestling Magic World Women's Champion, one half of WSU World Tag Team Champions, and number 467 on the 2023 PWI 500 list. Hailing from Idaho, New York, please welcome Ruthless LaLa. How are you doing?
Baby! Let's go. Oh, shit. Ah, that was dope. That was a dope ass introduction. I felt warm and fuzzy on the inside. That was great. That was good.
Yeah, you've been doing it. I like I said, I always like to let people know behind the camera. We were this is take number 2. So we're here.
Yes,
but I want to make sure that everybody knows that, like, yo, I want to apologize. You should have been on the show a lot sooner. I remember seeing you, and like I'm glad that you were like you came on the show now. So I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the show. But y'all, if you don't know who Ruthless LaLa is, you guys have been under a rock. So definitely go and look her up. But with that being said, thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. I massively appreciate it. I am honored to be here. So I've actually watched a lot of the episodes that y'all have done. So like I'm mad honored to be here. I'm trying to make sure my hair is not everywhere in my face while I have these beats on at the same time. It's just I'm going through the motions right now, but we're good. And I just got back in. So like look, we are Gucci.
There it is. So
and I'm about to go to another wrestling show. Like, oh my God. Like I just got in and now I'm supposed to go and see my boys, and I'm gonna go and surprise them at DPW. DPW is actually in New Jersey tonight. So I'm gonna go and see my bro Bounty Keith and my nephew Malachi, Jay Malachi. Like I'm massively so fucking proud of him. So yeah, so I'm this right here. I'm massively excited. I'm happy. I'm good. We got the backup generators of energy going, and we in there like swimwear. Let's go.
There it is. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of your interviews. You talk about your nephews a lot. How many nephews do you have?
I really wish I could give you a number. I really wish I could. Oh, fudge sickles. I can't. There's a here's the thing about that. Let's break that down for a second. So the only person that like I was really calling nephew was my best friend, Isaiah Wolf. He's my wrestling nephew. I've known him for his whole wrestling career. You know what I mean? I know him inside the ring and outside the ring. This is probably the only person that knows me better than my own mother. You know, so everybody would always say the way that I talk to people, the way that I help, or the way that I conduct myself, it always comes off as an auntie. So he would always be like, after Michael B. Jordan did Killmonger, and he was like, "Hey, auntie," I was like, "Oh, Michael B. Jordan, just say it once to me, please." And so everybody knows that I love so much. So just like fuck with me all the time, he would be like, "Hey, auntie," I said, "Yo, go to hell, son. Like, what do you want, nephew?" He's like, "No, like you really like my wrestling auntie." I was like, words. I was like, I feel like you're trying to call me old on the low, but I'm gonna let you rock with it. And it really just caught on. And a lot of people that, you know, I look at like family to me, you know, they'll call me auntie. I have a lot of nephews, a lot. Yeah, like I can shout out to my nephew. Y'all know who y'all are. That's crazy. I might have to just get a T-shirt that says wrestling aunties, wrestling nephews, or something. It's crazy. But that's really I have a plethora of nephews. I love every last one of them. I want to punch some more than the others. But at the end of the day, it's still all love.
That's what it's like with family. But that's the whole thing. It's I definitely feel you on the auntie thing, and it's like, man, you call me old, but it's also a respect thing because you've been in the game for so long. You've been in the game for 20 plus years. So we're gonna dive all into it. But first off, as far as being a woman and a Black woman in the industry for 20 plus years, because it's only seemed like maybe the 5-6 years, the pandemic kind of messes me up as far as timing, but 5-6 years, like women's wrestling as far as matches and time and stuff like that has just kind of hit that point now where, you know, people are respecting it, putting some respect on it. So like before that, it was not so much. So tell us about that experience from when you started to now.
Man, oh, fudge sickles. I'm really trying to work on my cursing because the way that I saw how, you know, the women that I was around that was treated and how they were and how they conducted themselves, I made sure like that was something I didn't want. You know, I was not going to be treated like that. Like, you don't give me respect. You know what I'm saying? I automatically became one of the boys because, like, one, I'm a tomboy. I have more male friends than I do female friends just because I don't get along with females like that. They messy, they gossip, they'll turn on you in a heartbeat, play victim, don't take accountability, and just do the most. And it gives me a massive headache. You know what I mean? So it's I have more homies than anything, and it's not the homies, but then like we getting jiggy with it. No, these are like my legit friends. We hang out, we kick it, we play video games. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we travel on the road, like we wrestle, we go train together, like my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's something that it really gets people like, yo, well, like, how can it, like, yo, there's you can be cool with men and not want to have sex with them. Oh, wow, isn't that amazing? So that's something that I massively had to deal with. It's one of the reasons why I ended up getting a lot of heat back in the day, in the beginning of my career, is because I always spoke my mind, and people fail to realize that, you know, if you got a guilty conscience because of what I said, that's on you. I didn't mention you. I didn't say your name. Whatever guilty conscience you have, that's between you and God. You know what I mean? So I would always speak from experience, things that I've experienced, things that I've seen, you know, from my own eyes. And, you know, back in the day, women's wrestling used to be considered as like a restroom break, concession stand break, a smoke break, you know what I'm saying? Anything else except watching the women's wrestling, because 9 times out of 10, what was it? It was the same old hair pulling, rolling around, you know what I mean? Ripping each other's clothes off, you know what I'm saying? Now we're in our bras and panties, you know what I mean? But like, we're not getting wrestling, you know? Hey, sex sells, but this is horrible. You know what I mean? Like, this is not how women who trained endless and countless nights and miss being home, you know, like, signed up for. You know what I mean? Like, signed up to be taken serious. So for a brief moment in time, it was to the point to where, you know, women's wrestling was like looked at it as a joke. You know what I'm saying? As you could say, like a side attraction. You know what I'm saying? Hey, while we get ready for the real wrestling, you know what I'm saying, let's go ahead and throw this side attraction in, you know what I mean, just to keep them, you know, entertained until we get, you know, all this stuff. But so it's my intake on it back in the day was, I don't care what you wear. I don't care what your gear is. You feel me? Like, if you want your ass out, you want your tits out, that's you. You feel me? All I ask is, when you get in that ring, work. You feel me? Like, just work. And like, there is a lot of ain't shit promoters in Texas who are not promoters no more. Some of them still are, but some of them are not. So, you know, there's been somewhat of improvement. And it was literally a, hey, you know what I'm saying, if you want to get booked, you know, you have to give it up. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I'm a book you, to see if you got the quality. And it's just like, fuck out of my face. I pay $2,500 for a motherfucking excuse my language. Like, I didn't pay that much money for wrestling training just to go and sleep with a roly poly to get an opportunity. No.
I haven't heard that term. That's like a Jamaican term. I hadn't heard that term in a minute. Go
Got
on,
to the point
sorry.
where no, you're good. Like it just got to the point I was just like, yo, like I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have morals. Like I'd be damned. Like if I'm going to get anywhere, it's going to be off my hard work, my dedication, me, staying 10 toes down, making sure that I stand for something and I don't fall for everything, or anything. And it's going to the beat of your own drum is a headache. So it's like when I did wrestle, the woman that I was wrestling was the promoter's girlfriends and it was the ring rats, you know what I'm saying? Like the ones who couldn't wrestle away out of a paper bag if they had a box cutter, a blowtorch, or a pair of scissors. You feel what I'm saying? And I had to like try to do my best to make sure I put them over. But then yet still if the match was shit, it was my fault. Excuse my language again, but like it was my fault. And it's like,
Right.
make this make sense. There's only so much I can lead and I can teach. You feel me? And I'm still young in the game, yo. So how like you're putting two green people in the ring. Let me rephrase that. You are putting a green person and an untrained person in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
There is only so much that green person can do to hold it up to a good 5-6 minutes. You feel me?
Yeah.
So those are things that I had to deal with, and I end up like I asked the question, like, what is your opinion on women's wrestling? And when they asked me, I was honest. I was like, like it's not all women, but there's a lot of women out here that, excuse my language, want to just suck and fuck to get booked.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And if they do a great enough job, you know what I'm saying? Not only do they secure the bag, you feel me, but they get a bum ass opportunity. And no, it's not Haiti, but it's like you just took away a bag from somebody that actually works and wants to be here, and this is their passion, all
Right.
because you don't want to work hard. You were just like, yo, I just want to skip the line. I don't have respect for somebody that does that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like that, like I don't care who's upset about that. Like if your whole way in life was to fuck your way through to get successful, that's crazy, son. You really have no morals about yourself. And that's sad. You know what I'm saying? You should want to be able to walk in a locker room or even walk in a building and somebody sees you and they say, hey, there goes such and such. They're a good wrestler, they're a cool person to be around, like very professional instead of, hey, there goes a person that can suck a mean dick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, she fucks really good. And it's like, you don't want that, because if you have kids that want to end up being up in this business, really think about how that's going to be scarring for your kids getting into this business.
Mm-hmm.
But people never think that far. It's just like, well, this looks fun right now. So, hey, and I don't really have to do any heavy lifting. So, hey, why not? Wrestling's fake anyways, right? And oh my God. Oh, don't even start on that. I'm sorry. Okay.
You good. So let's take it from the that time where a lot of women are, using their extracurricular activities to get into the thing to, the last maybe like 7 or 8 years.
It was so bad to the point to where, like, when I would wrestle, because they're not trained and because they just started wrestling and they shouldn't have been put in the ring, it's like me doing a suplex. It was automatically, oh, she hits too hard and she's rough, and now I'm being deemed as unsafe. You know what I'm saying? All because it's like I wrestle, and so it was really hard. I finally started getting an opportunity to wrestle people that could push me and make me better when, I got to wrestle Awesome Kong and I got to wrestle my aunt, Jazz. And I got to wrestle Jessica James. She's a wrestler from Texas. And I've wrestled Athena like before, way before she got signed, like when she was still coming into who, she was wanting to be, you know what I mean? I've had the opportunity to wrestle, Thunder Rosa and Holly Dead and Sarah Logan, because I was gonna call her old school name, Sarah Logan. Actually, me and my old tag team partner, we actually wrestled her and Ray Rowe before they actually went and they were signed by the WWE. So it took a while, but I ended up finally getting opportunities to wrestle women that I could learn from.
Martinez too. That was a great
Right.
match.
But the thing about it is, majority of the beginning of my career, it ended up being me wrestling guys because women got scared to where they want to wrestle me. So it was like, yo, I can either just quit and go home, or hey, I'm for the upgrade, like I'm for the evolve, what I'm saying? Like, I wrestle a dude. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got my ass whipped by my trainers, all the time, you know what I mean? Shout out to my trainer, Sexy Steve DeMarco. I love you very much. He is the dysfunctional wind beneath my wings, but he gave me all the tools that I needed to be the person that I am now, on top of a lot of other very instrumental people in the wrestling business and actually in my life. And so it's to see wrestling now to where I'm not the only person that hits,
Mm-hmm.
and women are main eventing like the grandest stage of them all, or women are main eventing like indie shows, top indie shows, or there's like all women shows, things like that makes my heart so happy because it took a very long time to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And all the women that paved the way to get there, like nothing but love and respect, to have it to where it is now, it keeps evolving into something magnificent, and all you needed was to get those ain't shit promoters out the way, you know what I mean? And actually start looking at wrestling more than body, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, sex sells, but there's only so far sex can sell. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you can watch a porno with two individuals that are in the greatest shape of their life. But if both of them having sex is like two dead fishes by each other, what did I actually pay for? You know what I'm saying? And this was way before, like you can go on the internet. Like this is before the internet came out. You know what I'm saying? So you had
Right.
VHS tapes. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like I'm showing my age, it's fine. But like I paid how much for what? I know you lying.
Oh my goodness.
And it's like same thing, like I say it all the time. Sex can sell only so much.
Right.
And then after that's done, then what do you have? Let's get that work. And to see the women even in the major and as well as indies like stepping it up and just going like rocking it like hot shit. You know what I mean? I'm just like, let's go. There's another word that I say for it, but like I'm really trying my best not to say that word. I've been really good. You know what I mean?
Now I need to know what the word is.
No, you don't. I mean, it's cool, but like a lot of people get offended by it, and like I tell people, for me, it's universal. You feel me? Like all colors with me, like all of my nephews, every last one of them. And actually, you know what? Before you can bleep this out, and then that way they won't know. But like nigga is my word.
Okay.
Like every time, like it's universal for me. I'm like somebody do something, and I'll be like nigga. Really? Or like say, nigga, what up, though? And it's just, it's my word. So when I be like, nigga, that's why I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I was like, So that's my word. But I've been working on not saying it as much because even my best friend gets. I'm just like, yo, you gotta stop. Cause now I be at work and then I start calling my coworkers. I'll be like, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm a punch. I'll be like, my bad. I'm sorry.
It gets like that sometimes. I definitely agree. I had to curb on my swearing a bit too. So today, like this brings us to today and wrestling. If you were to advise like people now coming up or your nephews or the new nephews that are going to be, because I'm sure there's some more in line that want to be your nephews, what advice would you give them about this industry?
Man, unfortunately, this business is cutthroat. Um, but it's cutthroat by choice and not by accident. Uh, my opinion, and I will forever stay down on it. Wrestling could be by far something more amazing than what it already is if there wasn't the unnecessary bullshit, the unnecessary drama. I tell this to people all the time. I don't find a reason for you to throw somebody under the bus. And the reason why I don't feel like there's a reason to throw anybody under the bus, there's room for everybody to eat. If there was literally only room at the top for one person, literally in all of wrestling, there will only be one championship belt that everybody in this wrestling world will be fighting for. That means everybody on the indie scenes and everywhere else, all the other major promotions would be trying to fight Roman Reigns right now. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have a different genre of champions, different tags, you know what I mean? Trios. Like there's been more expansion. Why? Because you've had people who's been tired of just being in singles and didn't just want to do the tag anymore. And they wanted, you know what I'm saying, yo, let's do some hot shit. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, boom, here we are. That's how you get the Rascals and, you know, the trios the trios that we got in Lucha Underground. You know, there's a plethora of titles. You know what I'm saying? There's a plethora of room for everybody to eat. So for you to literally try to stab somebody in the back and go out of your way to be messy and go out of your way to throw somebody in the bus just so you can succeed, that is crazy to me. And people that knows that it's not true and they allow that, there's no better. You know, and so it's like another thing. People constantly say there's no friends in this business. People can at me and I'll tell them, you know what? Ooh, look at us. High five. We didn't say it. My nephews are gonna watch and they're gonna be proud of me. There's friends in this business. You can have friends in this business. And don't have to worry about them screwing you over or throwing you under the bus. You know, they're going to be there to have your back. They're going to be there to pick you up, but they're also going to correct you when you're doing wrong. And they're going to be there. You're not always right. You know what I'm saying?
Those are true friends, though. Those are. It takes, just like relationships, to be a great friend. It takes time, and a lot of people don't want to do that. So that's why it's better. Personally, and I kind of feel like where you're going with this, is better to have really a core group of great friends looking out for you than a whole bunch of acquaintances who, when shit hits the fan, oh, I don't know that person. Like that's the
thing that I like even with my best friend and even in my relationship with my significant other, you know, the main reason of why everything works so well is because we're honest with each other. You feel me? And sometimes it may not be what we want to hear, but it don't change the fact it's what we need to hear. And that's where a lot of people get things, you know, misconstrued. It's like, well, you're telling me, well, I don't understand why you're saying this, because I'm telling you what you need to hear, but you're upset because I'm not telling you what you want to hear. You know, a want and a need is different. You know what I mean? And so that's why, you know, the love that I have for my bestie and the love that I have for my wrestling nephews and my squad, you know, Isaiah and Marcus and Tyree and Big Boy Dre, you know, like these are guys like this is my squad. Like we talk on a regular basis, you know, like we are just crazy in the group chats, you know what I mean? And like I love them to death. I'll beat the hell out of anybody at the drop of a hat that disrespects them if they don't yoke me up, because they know me. Like I'm very protective. I understand everybody is grown, but I'm very protective of minds. You feel me? And that don't even mean like as if like if I ride with you and you rock with me and I say I got your back to my last breath, best believe that's what I mean. Like nobody will ever speak ill will about your name in front of me. And if I hear something about it before you do, I'm gonna check that shit. And that's been one of the reasons of why, you know, like my reputation precedes itself, because Ruthless LaLa is known as somebody that, she speaks her mind, and it can come off as very angry, and it's like, it's not angry, it's real, like I give respect all day. The day you disrespect me, we got a whole different problem.
Whew.
So so it's that, and then it's also like, be respectful before trying to get your gear and get patterns and figure out what your music is going to be. Perfect the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Get the basics and the psychology down, please. Like, if I could clone William Regal and just put him everywhere to train everybody, I would. Like, that's somebody that, like, I want to, like, get under at least for like a day or two and just learn, bro, because I've watched William Regal so much, and the way that he is in that ring and the way that he teaches, it's something that is phenomenal. Like, I was blessed to meet William Regal one time, and I swear, like, after I shook his hand, I didn't let nobody touch me for like a good hour. Like everybody's like, "What's up?" I was like, "Yo, use the other hand. What's up? What's wrong with you?" William Regal shook this hand. You're not touching it. And then I got to meet Taka Michinoku, and so I shook his hand with the same one. I was like, "Oh, y'all really not get." I'm a lefty today, okay? I am a lefty today. Have respect for this business. Want to come in and be part of a solution and not a problem. Want to leave it better than what you came in of how it was. You know what I'm saying? Always try to leave it better. Understand that you're not always right. Understand that everybody don't know things. Take criticism from credible people. You feel me? I'm not going to go outside and take wrestling critiques from a crackhead, and I wouldn't expect you to do the exact same thing. Meaning, if they're not credible, if they're not where you're trying to get to, if they have not, helped in some type of way to make wrestling better as a whole, I wouldn't take their advice. Because a lot of people try to give advice, and it's not advice, it's just them just wanting to be assholes and just tear people down. And at some point, that has to stop. And that would be my advice. Shut up. Learn to know when to shut up. Like, God, like, and that's something I had to learn. Learn to shut up sometimes. Never ask for critiques, and then you can't listen to the critiques. That's like me saying, "Hey, what did you think of my match? Did you watch it? What did you think?" And as you started to tell me, well, see, that was because you see, like, when I went and then I said jump, and he was like roll, like, that wasn't me. It's like, why ask me for advice if you're not gonna shut up and listen? So I think that's it. Another thing, when you come into this business, put yourself over. What do you mean by that, La Auntie? What do you mean by that? I'm glad you asked, nephews. Meaning, if you are on a show, put that shit over. Put it on your page. Post it. Promo. Like I know people like, "Oh, promos are dying. It's a dying." No, it's not. You're just lazy as fuck and you don't want to do it. I said what I said. You have to give people a reason to want to be invested, to want to get their ass out of their house and drive and spend money on gas and spend money on admission to come and sit down and literally come and watch you wrestle.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, we gotta pay money for concession because we're gonna be hungry and we're gonna be thirsty. And then there's gonna be merch. I'm gonna buy shit. You better make me get out this house for a good reason, or I swear to God, we're gonna have a problem. That is my mindset. So if you don't give people a reason to come in, you can't automatically constantly be mad at the promoter. Well, you didn't do your job. No, you didn't do your job. I put out the shit. I put flyers in places. People showed up. We got good ticket sales, but I see you post everything else except wrestling. math is not math. Nobody is not going to put you over but yourself. Ain't nobody going to put you over like you but yourself. Can people put you over? Yes. But in order for somebody to put you over, you have to give them a reason to put you over. I mean, you got to put yourself out there and put yourself over in order for others to put you over.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I remember there was a tweet, and I so don't mean to get off subject. There was a tweet, and there was like Patrick, he was handcuffed in a SpongeBob, and somebody put up what wrestling opinion would get you like this, and I remember O'Shea Edwards put, 90% of wrestling is someone speaking your name in a room of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
The 10% is wrestling. And a lot of people are like, no, and it's like, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many people out here that can help so many other people get ahead. But because you're not rubbing elbows, or as I like to say, because after I watched Spartacus, I stayed using this, apply your tongue to their asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to help push you. And I'm sorry. It's just, it gets me so upset because I see a lot of people that have, that it factor to be where they need to be, and you have a lot of people trying to gatekeep and do the most to not let them succeed and just want only their friends to see, but their friends are trash, garbage, hot garbage. You feel me? And it's just it's a lot, man. It's like there's so much more to wrestling, and like hearing Bryan Danielson put over Brian Keith. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cried because I've known Brian Keith before he even started wrestling. Like, you ever interview and you ask him, like, oh, I'm so upset. I'm embarrassed to say it. I used to whoop his ass because he was one of the security guards. They were right in and we just fuck him up. And like, oh, it used to be him, Gino Medina, like, yo, like, and I'll be like, to see these guys now and to see where they're at, it's crazy. It's amazing because I'm like, bro, you deserve everything. And to get recognized by somebody of that high caliber, you feel me, that actually goes out of his day to go on YouTube and check you out on YouTube, that's a big thing. You know why it's a big thing? Because he constantly put himself over to where he became undeniable, to where everybody is going to put over Bobby Keith. Yeah. And that's how that goes. And so that's I will end it with that. That's gonna be my advice. You know what I mean? Like I am blessed to have, a lot of people around me that pays attention to me. So when I can help put, light on them, like that makes me happy. Like I'll constantly say it in every interview. Like Isaiah Wolf is somebody that people should be having their eye on. Legit. Like the man is like a hybrid vibe. There's nothing that he can't do. You know what I mean? Like, you'll get mad if he hears this, but like he wants to run it back with and I know a lot of people, in the wrestling community, some do and some don't like him, but he had a match with Swerve back in the day before he got signed. And he was so nervous, and now they're looking back, he's like, yo, I could have did this, I want to run it back. And so now he wants to run it back. And like, I'm like, yo, I want to get my best friend out there as much as possible for everybody to see him work and watch him do what he does and get him where he needs to be, because he deserves that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he deserves to be out there. He deserves to be on the TV. He has it. There's a lot of people in this wrestling business that have it, but then has the charisma of a fly fart. And it takes away from it sometimes, because it's like, yeah, you're great, but you're not entertaining. I don't want to watch you. Yeah. Like, there's a lot. I don't want to watch you.
It's a big crossover with, entertainment. It's no different. People have, they might be the best actor. There's actually this rapper that comes to mind, like a really well-known rapper. Like he's great. He's well-known. He's been in the game. But when you interview him, you're like, bro, like, do you have a personality? What's going on? So it's always better to interview somebody who's passionate, and developing that personality and understanding that that's part of it as well. So there's just a lot. There's a huge crossover to again, promoting yourself. It's marketing 101, and with social media, it should be a lot easier. But I think people, it's a catch-22. We have social media. It should be easier, but also you still have to put in the work. It's just a different type of work. So if you really want it, you're gonna have to be up. If you have a couple matches, creating those videos so people want to see. It's like, oh, I want to see more. Like all those little nuances. That's how like when we're looking at because we're doing a lot more interviews now. So now when we're looking at social media, it's the people who pop up most on the algorithms, because there's wrestlers, there's so many, right? And if you post once a week, like you're not gonna, how many people algorithms are you gonna pop up on? So it's definitely a marketing 101 with that. But with that being said, now you are where you want to put people over, and you've been in the game. What's the game plan for you career wise, wrestling wise?
Man, I really just want, to be honest, I just want a contract so my family is financially stable. You feel me? Nah, that's it. Um, I love this business. I've been doing it for 20 years, 21 the end of December. Um, and legitimately, it's like I wouldn't change anything except I get to do it on a grand stage. You feel me? Like you turn on your TV and you get to watch me. You feel me? Turn on your TV, you get to watch Prolific. You know what I'm saying? On your TV screen, doing what we do best. Um, and that's it. Like I'm not trying to do it for the cars and the house. I just want to do it so my family's financially stable, man. you know and I want to go to Japan. I've been blessed to finally go overseas and represent the United States and take some titles and make them world titles here June, and I was able to go with my best friend, and he also took a title and made it a world title. And we went over representing CZW, and we had the honor of wrestling at WXW in Germany. I got to wrestle at Uberhausen. Uh, we stayed there. We stayed in Gelsenkirchen, Germany for like a month, but then we was also blessed to go to London to go and wrestle. We went to the UK and wrestled. We also wrestled in Holland. We debuted in like 3 different European countries in a month, and it was by far something that was very amazing. And like I got to knock it off my list. And Japan is the top. Japan has always been my top list because that's something that I've always studied. Like I used to wrestle. If you go back and really find these old ass gems of me, sweet mother of mercy. I used to wrestle with no knee pads. And like people used to always try to get on me and be like, yo, like why you don't wrestle with knee pads? I was like, I know how to bump, so I don't need knee pads. And they was like, we want to let you have that one. I was like, and then he just kept being, yo, knee pads. I was like, I don't need them. And then like I end up getting them, and then I see other wrestlers on it. I was like, I don't see you yelling at them. I don't see nobody yelling at Minoru Suzuki about, hey, put your knee pads on, Suzuki. What are we doing? So, I was really hard into Japanese wrestling. The Great Muta was one of my favorites, still is. I had a Muta phase in my wrestling career to where I had the face paint. I would be rocking it just like how I would see Muta have it. Stan Hansen, I would watch Stan Hansen in Japan, which is what peaked. Stan Hansen and JBL are the main reasons of why I wanted to start throwing lariat. Because, it was always say, what women can and can't do. And I was like, bet, we always see a dude throw a lariat. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Dudes are always out here throwing lariats, but ooh, you find you a female that can throw that mother. See, I caught myself. Oh, you find a female that can throw that lariat. Hey, yo. And so I prided myself into perfecting my lariat to where I can hit you with my lariat from all different angles, like different type of ways. And I pride myself on my lariat to the point where I got it tattooed on me. Miss what that lariat do, like legit. And to be able to do it, and a lot of times I get, yo, it reminds me of JBL. It reminds me of Stan Hansen. It makes me happy on the inside because, like, at the same time, I be trying to pay tribute because, like, oh, I love watching them knock their people heads off. Oh, I used to be like, oh, he's dead. He's dead. But no, that's the goal, man. To get that contract, whether it's AEW or Impact or WWE or New Japan Pro.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I can continue to take care of my family like I've been for these 20 years, I'm good. Like that's it. Like I'm such a simple person. Like I'd already said it, like massively, like the first contract I signed, like sending money to my mom and my kids. I'm gonna pay off if they don't already have it, like I'm gonna pay off like my bestie's car, you know what I'm saying? And then like hide because he's gonna want to kick my ass. And just like help my people, you feel me? Like help my friends who, want to get gear and can't, throw them a couple of bucks to help, you know what I mean? Friends that wants to get bulk shirt orders and can't, you know what I'm saying? Throw them a couple bucks to help, you know what I mean? That's some things that I've always wanted to do, just like help people and just, like I said, make wrestling better than what it is.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling when that happens, to be able to do that. You've talked about your kids. For people who don't know, like, how old are your kids, and do they want to get into the business too? And this is like a 3-parter. What do they think of you? Their mom wrestling.
My son is 19. My daughter is 16. And both of my kids, oh, I hate these heathens, respectfully. And I'm saying I say that, like, cuz man, like they like I just learned to do a moonsault, when I was in Germany. And like these little ninjas was like running around like 9, 10, 11, like while I'm out getting food for the show. I come back, wrestlers are salty. My daughter then got up on the top rope and then did a moonsault inside the ring and landed that motherfucker perfectly. People salty. They looking at me like, I'm like, what? Don't look at me like I thought my thick ass can't even do it. And it used to be to points where my son and my daughter, they would get into it with each other. So they have like a mattress and they'll just run and do shooting. Just run a shooting star. And I'm just like, look what I can do. Oh yeah, look what I can do. Like, I know a parent should be proud, but why are y'all learning this before me? You know what? Jesus, you know what? Patience. You are teaching me patience. And I hear you, Lord. I hear y'all. So it's and actually my son has wrestled once. It was somewhat of a surprise. I gave my blessing. I just didn't know the extent of what I was about to watch. And what I watched, I sat down. I got to get comfortable because I was like really proud of my baby. I sat down in the audience. I'm gonna try not to cry. I'm a very emotional person. I sat down in the audience, which is very crazy for me because it's usually my kids or my mom in the audience, watching me wrestle. So during an intermission, I was able to sit down, and my son came out and grabbed the mic, and everybody know him. They call him, Like his name is Blue. Like he doesn't go by his government name, and I get it. I'm the same way. You call him my government name, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up. So he goes by Blue, and so but everybody knows him as son of Ruthless. So you're Ruthless, LaLa son. So he got in there and he announced he wanted to have a dance off. So this wrestler comes out. His name is Walk It Out Poe. And because he actually comes out to walk it out. And is when I tell you is the whitest person you've ever met before in your life. And I love him to death. Like, and I tell him, I was like, cause like when I first went to the show and I heard the music, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking a black person's gonna come, and I'm not lying to you. I'm not stereotyping us.
I think most people,
if you hear "Walk It Out" the remix, you feel me? You're thinking, oh, we about to get a brother or a sister. Yeah. Here comes this white dude. You like, y'all ribbing me, right? Like for real? All right, bet. Dude, entertaining as hell. I'm not gonna take it away from him, but it was just like words. So he came out, but he came out in a chicken outfit. So he came out and he actually came out to the chicken song. The whole thing. Like the whole thing. Whole thing. So he get in the ring and he's like, yo, I'm gonna challenge you. My son's like, words? She's like, yeah. So they play the music. Oh, and what is the music, you ask? It's Walk It Out. So my son started hitting his moves and he killing it. And everybody's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And then this dude gets ready to do it. And it's the worst thing that I've ever seen. like sharpening a pencil would have been more entertaining than watching him bust out these moves. And so my son did it again. People was cheering. And then he's like, nah, that's whack. Let me show you how to really do it. And my son didn't take too lightly of that. So my son low blowed him in the nuts. And then when he low blowed him in the nuts, my son took off his hoodie, dude turned around, and my son speared this man into two. And I didn't cry. I held it together. The proudest mom ever, just watching, my child just have fun, because it wasn't something that I pushed on him. It wasn't something that I wanted him to do. It was something that he wanted to do. You know what I mean? And he's talked about getting to wrestling, and the bestie is going to train him. You feel me? Okay. Whenever he decides he wants to go fully into it. And I told him, I'm going to support him 1000%. My daughter, on the other hand, she don't know what she want to do right now. There's a plethora of things that she wants to do. And I told her, any and whatever she wants to do, I will support her, 1000%. So that's where we're at with that one. So they actually at first, they didn't understand of why mom was gone so much. They didn't get to why mom wasn't there for birthdays sometimes, and it was at times where they felt like mom didn't want to be around them. That never was the case. Mom was just traveling. Mom was just wrestling. Mom was out here, trying to make ends meet to make sure, we're still Gucci and we're good. So once we got together and in the Rio Grande Valley, and I was able to put them, like I've always wanted to put my mom in the house. And then when I had kids, it was no different. Wanted to have like my own house I can call my own. And I was able to do that. And they were able to come and watch me wrestle. And for them to see how the crowd was and how everything that I go through and what I do, it was a more better understanding to like words. So she wasn't just being like, hey, forget us, I'm going to go do what I want to do. She was, and, they love it. They worry when, I take certain moves still, and they talk trash any chance they get. Any chance they get.
That's what kids do. Being in the game for 20 years, you've met a lot of different people. Are there particular folks? Because I know, like I mentioned, you wrestled Mercedes. You mentioned Jazz. You mentioned Awesome Kong. Have any one of them given you advice where it's just like you carry with you to this day?
Yes, I can't speak about it without crying, and y'all are not about to get me on Women's Wrestling Talk crying. This is probably going to be the only interview that I ever do that I don't cry. So we're going to hold that down. Yes, actually, Kong was the reason that I ended up getting my AEW tryout in 2020. And she's always been there for me, Jazz. And then meeting Mercedes. They gave me some excellent they gave me some excellent advice that that stays with me. I actually after our match, she said some words that I really need to hear. And you can always go on YouTube, Title Match Network, type in Ruthless LaLa versus Mercedes Martinez. You can watch it and you can see at the end for yourself.
It takes two to dance to make a good match. Sometimes when you have a person in this ring like me and OG, my job is to bring every person that gets in this ring, male or female, bring them to the next level. To where I am and beyond. Because when they succeed, I succeed, no matter where I'm at. You may call yourself ruthless. Mama, you just pretend to be. We all love you, we all adore you, and we sure as hell know that tonight was a dream match for you. Now, a lot of times when you see matches, you think things are going to go a certain way. You think that what you call in the back, and I'm breaking the fourth wall here, what you call in the back is choreography and it's all memorized. But that's not what happens when you wrestle me. That's right. Sometimes that choreograph goes out the window and you feed off the crowd. You feed off of being organic. You feed off of being real. When I came on the ring, everyone knows they won't get hit hard. You can hear it. Not everyone can take it. But there's a lot of Barbie dolls and divas in this business that don't like to get in the ring with OGs like me. Very few and far in between do divas get in the ring, even the top names. They're afraid of me, and there's a reason why. Because I'm a no bullshit type of wrestler. I'm old school hard knock. Born and bred from the streets of CT, and my training was from ECW, and God bless him, man, did he hit me hard. So I bring that mentality to anybody who gets in the ring, and you stepped up to the plate. You can dry your tears. Dry your tears of happiness, because I know this match meant a lot to you. But remember, this match is only a platform for you to reach up higher. What you did tonight, Mama, you can only go higher. And any girl who steps in the ring with you, it's your turn to bring it to your level. From this point on, Ruthless LaLa, you ain't here. So any male or female is here. You gotta bring them up to where you are. And if they don't, you got their fucking head. 20 years and plus. I've been in this business 23. I got signed when I was 40. That dream is still alive. But my dream is now to make people like you reach your dream. And tonight was just a stepping stone.
Wow. An embrace. You love
She said a lot of words to me that I needed to hear, and they never leave my head. They stay with me constantly. And even though I had a chance to meet them, I would say a couple of people that it would definitely be Homicide and Eddie Kingston. I was blessed to be on a plethora of shows with Eddie in Georgia, and I was able to become good friends with him, and he would watch my match when he would be there, and we just became cool, man. And we always stayed cool. So anytime I would go and work the New Japan Pro Wrestling when they was here, or we drove to DC, we would work in the Mercy Hills or whatever, and I'll see him. He'd be like, "Yo," we'll catch up. It was here in New York. I waited to see them, and I was like, "Yo, do me a favor. Go tell Eddie Kingston. His sister says that if you don't come and see me, we're going to have problems." The dude was so scared. He was like, "Ma'am, I can't." I said, "Trust me." And so, like, he started, him and started coming up the escalator. He was like, "Yo, like, who was talking?" I said, "I was talking." He's like, and like, like we all got together and like I started hugging and everything. And dude was like, "I thought we was gonna have to call security." I was like, "No, we're family, it's Gucci," And like, like anytime we get a chance to catch up, we do. Prince Nana is another person. I met Prince Nana during my feud with Isaiah. Isaiah and Prince Nana go back, like way back, like that's Isaiah's OG, you know what I mean? So during our feud, me and Nana end up running into each other, and that's when I end up getting some advice on how to really irritate the hell out of my best friend and to just push him to the edge because he had me fucked up. Sorry about the language, but he did. And then from then on, me and Nana became the bestest and coolest of friends. And I wouldn't even say friend, I'll say family. Like, that's my people. I love them to death, And so anytime that he's in town for AEW and I get to see him, I have a blast. So those would be some, just like to name a few, John Davis and O'Shea Edwards, Shane Taylor. I had a chance to sit down and chit chat with Lee Moriarty, and that guy is so cool and so amazing. I've had a chance to shoot the shit with a lot of people, and there's so many names. MVP. I had the pleasure and honor of meeting MVP. I had the pleasure and honor of meeting Jake, aka Jack Swagger, way before he got signed to AEW. And I got to meet him on the indie show. Coolest guy ever. Me, him, and MVP became like this, like cool. Like anytime we was in the same area, and like we were like chit chatted, hung out. All right, y'all, I'll see you later. All right, y'all, see you later. Coolness. Actually, when I had my 2020 tryout, him and like I've known Sammy for a very long time. I've known Sammy way back in the day, and so I remember I seen him out there, and he like, "You get signed?" I was like, "Shit, I hope so." He's like, "Do they know what kind of treasure they're getting?" I was like, "I don't think they do, but I appreciate it if you say it's a little something." He's like, "I got you." I was like, so I could even say, he's one of those people that regardless, like we always stay cool. He never acted brand new. Yeah. I said, I'd be like, "Hey, yo, Jake." Just I have no sense at all. But yeah, that's just to name a few. There's more, but that's my best my other bestie. Like we've been friends for a good minute, and I was so mad at him because did you ever watch Shakara?
No.
All right. Do you remember a wrestler that had a pharaoh gimmick?
Yes.
The Funky Pharaoh?
Yes. And the name sounds familiar. I just can't see it in my head.
So he hypnotized people and they start dancing?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's my best friend. Well, actually, he's more like my brother than my best friend. He's my fam. But then he's also like the bestie at the same time. But he's more of the fam. I want to punch him. You know what? It's no here or there. I'm venting. Let me bring it back in. Deshaun Pratt. And I
Okay.
know he's gonna see this and he's gonna be so upset. And Deshaun, I don't give a damn. He's a funky pharaoh. So we've been cool for a very long time, and I had no idea. He kept it that sealed from me until like we was I forgot who we were with. And he was like, yo, you got to bust that funky pharaoh out one more time. For the one time, he was like, nah, and I was like, Deshaun, huh? You the funky pharaoh, bro? Yeah. I didn't speak to him for like 2 weeks.
Mm-mm.
I was mad because the dude has done so much, and because of how he was, he helped put a lot of other black talent like that on the map, because you didn't see a lot of black talent doing Egyptian gimmicks or doing mask gimmicks at all. You feel me? So it's like he killed it, and he's tries to say so humble, and people call him a legend, and he'll be like, I don't know how to deal with it. I say, you deal with it because you are a legend. Well, my humility, sis, won't allow me. And he's gonna cuss me out when he sees this. Legitimately, he was like I told him, I said, yo, because you're a legend, fam. He's like, no, because my humility won't allow me, to take that compliment. I said, bet. I'm going to go online and I'm going to post about you right now. He's like, don't do it. I was like, oh, so you think I'm pussy? Bet. Watch this. Posted it on Twitter, posted it on Instagram, posted it on Facebook. I posted up the Funky Pharaoh. I posted up him now. I posted up the business savvy and the hood savvy that he had. Put him on blast. He text me like, wow, you really did that, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah. Like anytime I get to sit under Deshaun, or I get to sit under Rich Swan, or I get to hang out with my sis Soo Young, like it's always something amazing for me, because these are people that I got to know for like almost like, which one is it? A decade is 10 years. A millennial is like 20, right? Almost like, a millennial, I've known these guys, and to just still be friends with them and to still be able to catch up and call them and hang out. Love it. I got it.
So
I gotta plug
let's
my
go.
charger up. I'm listening. Gotta
No
plug my
worries.
charger up.
Let's go to your you mentioned your AEW tryout back in 2020. So we're in 2023, about to hit 2024. So have you been in contact with them and or any other promotions?
I have actually been doing oh my. This was getting really hot. That's crazy. My phone was scorching. Man, okay. There we go. That should be all right. I had to plug it up. Like, it was hot. Actually, me and my bestie, as well as Marcus and Tyree of Prolific, Alex Kane, that is another nephew of mine. Me and Alex and Fletch used to travel up and down Georgia, wrestling in some good places and some not so good places, and we will always talk about how, one day we'll be sitting together and be like, yo, look how successful we were. Like, we made it. And the day that, the show before that, I want to say maybe like 2 shows before that, I remember he hit me up and was like, hey, auntie. And I was like, what's up? He was like, would you come and be in my corner, in the Boomagay Fight Club? I was like, yeah. I was like, I got your back, yo. I'm like, let's go. He's like, words. Any other black wrestlers? And that's one thing that I love about Alex is like, and I tell and like I told this to Alex on the day that he was about to win the belt. I was like, you've made it, and yet you're still trying to put black wrestlers on. You're still trying to get black wrestlers TV time so their face can be on TV. And that says a lot, because there's a lot of other of our skin tone that ain't even trying to do that. You feel me? Could easily choose not to. The fact that you do that, the fact that you still are out here putting over other people, says an amazing thing. It says so much. And so we went, we had a blast. Some of the producers really loved me. They had already knew Wolf because Wolf had pretty much been rocking with them since I believe like their first show that they ever did. You know, and so we was very well known, and everything got just kept getting better to the point to where like we were doing work to where it was like, hey, you're Boomaye Fight Club. We need y'all over here. And it was just like, wow. So, it got to the point to where like started being front and centered and started anytime that we could be there, we was there for Alex, and it wasn't to be there for Alex to get the TV time. It was to be there to Alex because, we wanted to support him and rock with him. So that was MOW. I'll say like we're still there, Boomaye Fight Club. And that's it so far.
Before we get out of here, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I mean, you've wrestled and you're friends with a lot of wrestlers. Who is on? I think this is a question I'm probably going to start asking everybody. Just because you saw the Cody Rhodes documentary where he had like a list of people he wanted to wrestle. So who's on your list of people that you haven't wrestled yet that like you're waiting to get your hands on?
Janai Kai, Masha Slamovich, John Moxley, Minoru Suzuki, Pentagon Jr., because we got beef. He knows it. We actually go way back. Me, him, and Phoenix go way back. If you go look up on YouTube and you type in Phoenix versus Pentagon Jr., Perro del Mas title, you will literally see I was a Phoenix manager. Okay. And we had me and Penta had some exchange of words. And every time he would have a show that I was at, he always made it his business to fuck with me. And that's the fam though, like I love them to death. I definitely want to wrestle Taya. I have to wrestle Kenta. That's somebody that I truthfully want to wrestle. I feel like there's so much I can learn, and like I'm massively here for it. I would love to wrestle Trinity. I would love to wrestle Jade. I'm not gonna hold you. One person that is like staying at the top of my list that I would love to wrestle, and I feel like we would just beat the shit out of each other, respectfully. It would be Rhea Ripley.
Ooh. Out of that list, like Rhea and Moxley, like I can already see the visual of that. That would be amazing.
I know I'm going to like get pressled up, but like I would like to take my stab at Bryan Danielson. Well,
here, let's do this. You named a lot of names.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about putting things in the universe, and I know I've seen it. For you guys who don't know, you can cut one hell of a promo. Pick one of those names and cut that promo, and let's see that's what's gonna bring it to the top.
Oh man, that's not fair. Now I gotta remember everybody I said. Ah,
you just have to pick one. You said Jade, Trinity, Moxley, Rhea, Taya.
no, I don't have it. Oh my God, what did I do? No, I'm just playing. I don't have to actually pick not one person. I can address everybody at the same time. Hello, my name is Ruthless LaLa, and I am the first lady of Prolific. I am Miss What That Lariat Do, and I have watched every last one of y'all inside and out. I know your pros and cons. I know what you're capable of, and I know what you're not capable of. And the one thing that I pride myself on is getting better and stepping in the ring with the best to get better. So this is not a open challenge. This is a manifestation of I will be seeing y'all very soon to show y'all what that lariat do, respectfully. And I hope you bring it as well.
Ooh, that respectfully part. Look, I feel like we can go on for hours. Like, I mean, you've been in the game for 20 years, and I know because I've spoken to people like you before that you have so many stories, and so this is not gonna be your
Oh my
first time on
gosh.
the show. So we're definitely gonna have to bring you back, and I feel like I'm gonna have to look through this and then do bite-sized chunks. Like I feel like we're gonna have to like talk about the fact that the whole thing of you having more
Oh
guy
shoot.
friends and stuff like that. So
Mickie James, I'm gonna see you soon before you retire. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you, Mickey. Mickey, hardcore country. I'm gonna see you.
oh,
But I also love you. But I'm gonna see you.
oh my, yeah, you have so much to talk about. We have to definitely bring you back on the show. But before we get out of here, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitch, Miss What That Larry Do. I be gaming and streaming for my life at the same time. Um, oh God, right now I'm on the gears. I'm running it back because my wrestling nephew hasn't finished, so we've been running that, and I played the game already, but I forgot the game. So these jump scares have been really serious. You can catch me on Twitter um, at Ruthless LaLa, RuthLessLala. You can catch me on Instagram at Straight Ruthless One, STR the number 8, RuthLess the number 1. You can catch me on TikTok, Miss What That Larry Do. You can also catch me on YouTube, Miss What That Larry Do. I'm actually in the process of coming out with my vlog. It is entitled Miss What That Vlog Do, to where y'all get to really see backstage, the just like like this is probably like the only time people are going to get to see Tanya, outside of seeing Ruthless all the time. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
And yeah,
Then last question. Let's run it back, because I'm pretty sure you probably answered this question before. But for people who are just meeting you, I mean, you mentioned your government name. We're not going to mention the government name, but how did you get to Ruthless LaLa? What's the meaning behind that name?
I just really got tired of being told what I can and what I can't do, in the sense of, because of my height, because of my skin tone, because of my color. So legitimately, I just wanted to become by far the most ruthless individual in all of wrestling. Not the ruthless, like even though a lot of times shows that I go to, they always announce the most ruthless female in all of whichever promotion that I'm at. I just want to be known as by far one of the most ruthless, baddest motherfuckers in this business. You know, um, because I may be, you know, in the fives, and I'm not, I may not be 5'11", but I'll whoop your ass like I'm 7 feet tall. I swear to God. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, for a long time, all I cared about was just beating the shit out of people. You know what I mean? Like getting in the ring and just mollywopping them, and just show me, like, fight me, bro. Like, give me all of this shit, bro. How Sensei, come on, just like come at me, bro. And that's really what I wanted. I wanted to go to war. I wanted to go to battle. Like, I wanted to wrestle the baddest mofos ever, and then be able to shake your hand after. That's just really, Ruthless is a extraordinary being. I'm not gonna no longer say a god, but I'm saying an extraordinary being that is very powerful, and as quick as she can give it, she can take it. And she don't back down from nobody.
There it is. And then I know I already said this is the last question, but this is really the last question. PWI 467 on the PWI 500 list. What was that feeling like? I mean, there's only a handful of women who made this list, and in order to qualify for this list, you have to have had intergender matches. So what? And I know it's kind of one of those lists where it's just like, it's a group of individuals sitting around making these decisions and stuff like that. But still, to be honored and to be part of this list, because there's way more than 500 wrestlers. We all know this. What was that feeling like?
I have been wanting to be a part of the PWI for a very long time. And it was something that after I had my PWI interview with Candace Cordelia, I was like, yo, so that means they have to be watching. Like, this has to be. And then when I found out how they was ranking and the dates that it was going off of, I was like, fuck. Well, I'm not gonna make the 2022 one. Shit. And I was really sad, like, don't get me wrong, like, I wanted to, be in it, way earlier, but it wasn't really like hitting me like that. Like, I just wanted to get that recognition and get out there and just shine to where, I'm trending on Twitter because people talking about how my lariat is redonkulously ridiculous, type of stuff like that. And so when this one came out, I didn't want to wait to call or hit up my friend. But like, hey, do you see me on there? So I went and I bought the digital copy.
Nice.
And I just started scrolling. I'm scrolling. I was like, yo, regardless, we're going to still hold our head up. Okay? All right. And then it was getting to the fours, and I'm like, and it's like 450, and I'm like, bro, I guess I didn't. Oh, and like before I could even celebrate, I took a screenshot of it and then I posted it in the prolific chat. And I was like, yo! And I posted it. And before I posted it anywhere, my best friend, Isaiah Wolf, got it and put it on his Twitter. And it was like, yo, my motherfucking best friend is in PWI 500. Let's fucking go! And like, just seeing that, like, the waterworks were ridiculous. Like, I believe for the next 3 days, I was nothing but tears. Because it meant a lot to me. And just having people hit me up and was like, yo, fam, I see you over there.
Mm-hmm.
So you finna start charging people? I was like, yep, that upcharge. And oh my God. Like, yo, like I was like some of the promoters that I'm cool with, they hit me up and they was like, congratulations. I was like, I appreciate it. I hope you feel that same way when that upcharge happened. And they just like, yo, like we just like be like chit chatting, just like, like everything is cool, man. And like just to be part of it, it was cool. It would have been better if my bestie would have been on it with me. But I know that we are going to knock it out the water next year. Mm-hmm. Because even when they stop taking notes for this year, we've still been rocking. Mm-hmm. We still been going. We still been messing people up, man. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to see both of our names on PWI next year and actually hire. A lot of my friends was like, yo, man, your name should have been higher. I was like, yo, I'm just happy my name is on there, yo. Like 20 years, 20 long, stressful, happy, miserable, amazing years. And to be ranked as 14-7 out of 500 of the best in the world. Man,
that's a big thing. It's a big thing. And we're gonna end it off like that. Let's run it back for the folks, how they can follow you, if they can buy merch, all those things, because definitely support.
Pro Wrestling Tees. Go on Pro Wrestling Tees, type in Ruthless LaLa, and you will see all my shirts. I think I have like 7 or 8 shirts now. I have a Miss What That Larry Do. I have a Off with Their Heads shirt. I have a Hoochie Mania t-shirt as well. Oh my God, I love that shirt. Also, you can go on Pro Wrestling Tees and type in Prolific and go on there. And we also have new t-shirts out as well. You can find me on TikTok, Miss What That Larry Do, Twitch, Miss What That Larry Do, YouTube, Miss What That Larry Do, Instagram, straight Ruthless One, STR, the number 8, RUTHLESS, the number 1. You also can catch me on Twitter at Ruthless LaLa, RUTHLESS, LA.
There it is. I want to thank you so much. Like I said, this is not going to be the last time you're on the show. You have there's so much other things we can dive into that we definitely will. So first, I'm going to put in the universe that all those people that you want to have matches with will happen. Within from this time to the next time we have an interview, things are going to happen. Definitely want to put you on promotion, getting signed so you can support your family, all the things. So I appreciate you for continuing on and persevering through those 20 years, because I know for sure it wasn't easy in some parts. So thank you for persevering. Thank you for getting all those nephews and educating them and inspiring them. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I had by far a blast.
I did too. So now thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk. My name is TK Trinidad. Women's Wrestling Talk, the number 1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Till next time, guys.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the number 1 women's wrestling show on the planet.